Hello everybody, Jim here, and I've just returned from another hard-off game hunting trip, and today was, today was interesting, I guess. I had a choice today between going to a further away hard-off that I pretty much definitely knew would have a ton of games in it, or a nearby hard-off that I'd never been to before and didn't know if it would have a lot of games in it or not. And guess which one I chose? The answer may not surprise you, depending on how I title this video or whatever, but I did go to a very close by hard off today, and well, I'll just say they had what they had. I did my very best. Actually, you know, I say that, but I actually did come away with some pretty good games today at decent prices. So I will show those off later in the video for my finds of the day, so come back at the end of the video for that. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's go game hunting.
Go for broke!
Hello everybody, Jim here, and just gotten off the train in the lovely neighborhood of Kichijoji, which I come here sometimes. You might have seen I did a video once about a burgercade here, like a burger restaurant that is also a barcade, which was pretty cool. But today, actually here because there's a hard off that I have actually not ever been to, which is kind of odd because I actually live pretty close to Kichijoji, and just, I don't know, for whatever reason have never been to this hard off before, but look pretty good on Google. Looks like they got a lot of games, so hopefully we'll pick up a lot of good stuff today, but that remains to be seen. Anyway, it's not too far from the station, so we're gonna go for a walk on this lovely sunny day, and we will be at the local hard off very soon, digging through a mountain of retro games, maybe, I don't know. Exciting stuff, so stick around because that's coming up next. All right, we are coming up on it now. Looks like kind of a really big building though. It has it's like huge glass exterior. Hard off audio salon, hard off studio, Rabo, Tokyo. There's, wow, I don't know. I've never seen one quite like this before, I don't think. Obviously they got a lot of audio equipment. Not really looking forward to today, but they should have games too. I don't know, we're about to find out. Like I said, my first time coming to this one, but I can't imagine a hard off being this big and not having some games in it. So let's get in there and check it out. First time at this very unique looking hard off, as far as hard offs go anyway. All right, let's get in there, check it out, see if we can get ourselves some games. All right. Hello, Mr. Slime. That's very nice that they have him there to guard the store. Getting started with this case that had some pretty cool stuff in it. In particular, you can see a Kiki Kai Kai back there, but it's 17,600 yen. That's quite a few yen, in case you didn't know. And Adventure of Lolo in there. Some Game Boys as well, which is quite cool, including the very expensive Game Boy Advance SP there, like 33,000 yen. Geez, almost as much as that Neo Geo CD, as a matter of fact. And a copy of Wataru on the PC Engine, aka Keith Courage and Alpha Zones. So that's it for that case. Not too much in there, but the slime is always nice. And we got some consoles and more handhelds and things here. There's GameCubes. There's, as you can see here, some Wii's, and are those like Wii U's? Got some Super Famicoms, 6600, 55, and 44 for this boy. He's got a tan, so they're not charging quite so much for him, but it's just old Super Famicom with a controller and a 3-month warranty. Isn't that nice? Some N64s, a boxed Saturn, which I was not expecting to find. 6,600 yen for it, which ain't bad. And 6,600 for a boxed Super Famicom and 88 for a boxed Mega Drive. Considering, I don't know, the prices on some of the games we're going to look at later are not really that great. So that is surprising to me that the consoles were actually not priced too bad. But we got some cool stuff in here. A Tamagotchi thing next to some Dark Souls. DuckTales 2, which is cool. Fantasy Zone 2. The cartridge version of Legend of Zelda, which is less common. And some Famicom disc stuff. A copy of Rainbow Islands. Nemesis on the Game Boy. As well as, what is that? Rockman World 2. And one of those Super Famicom little multi-carts. I wonder what's on there. So that's cool. So they got some consoles. They had a few games in this case. Nothing to really blow you away. Few things here for the PS4, and a whole lot of memory cards. Because, you know, you can never have too many memory cards, right? Just buy yourself a handful of those, and you'll be all set. And just a few handfuls of other things here, some controllers, things like that. And another case behind me. That actually had quite a few cases in here, just not, you know, most of them didn't have games in them. But we have some cool old handheld stuff here, I guess sort of like the Japanese equivalent of Tiger Electronics. But there's also Mahjong. And what did I say, like the Golf Master or something or other? I guess if you really want to be a Golf Master, you're going to want to pick that up. I, on the other hand, I don't need to be a Golf Master, I suppose. Golden Axe, PC Engine CD. Really terrible version of that game. Some other PC Engine stuff in there, and Atari 2600 games, including Pac-Man, or Puckman, or whatever. Pac-Man, there you go. Don't come across that too often, and some Choma Kaimura. Cool stuff in these cases, but we gotta move on to the next thing they got in here. Okay, now to the proper game section here, which I use that term a little loosely. Got some pachinko. We've got for 2,000 yen, Dragon Quest V. Are you kidding me? That game is as common as dirt. But then Super Puyo Puyo is only like a 500 yen game. But then Ganbare Goemon, they're overcharging for that, so their prices were all over the place. What are you trying to do to me? Also, all these games, Pachinko Wars. Because why not go to war over Pachinko? There's some other stuff here, more Pachinko games, oddly enough. Super Fire Pro Wrestling, Magical Taruto Tokun, and the box is absolutely annihilated. And Shodai Neketsu Koha Kunio-kun for 5,000 yen. The sequel to River City Ransom, set in Osaka. We're going to come over and look at some Game Boy games. So everything here, all of these games are facing the big window we saw outside, just the glass exterior. So all these games are facing a big window, and this was a sunny day, so sunlight was just pouring into that window, and hitting all of the Super Famicom games, just like blasting them right in the face. So some of the games we're going to take a look at, especially some that were in like a little tub, like a little bin down there, they were really, really faded. Detective Conan. I've never played one of those Detective Conan. I think the show was called Case Closed when it was localized in North America by Funimation. It was a pretty cool little show. Geez, how long did that show run for? You see how I'm not even talking about the games I'm looking at here? Because it's a bit sparse. But a big wall of Super Famicom games, some N64 games there, including this copy of Mario Party. It's near mint. $1,000, take it or leave it. And some Yoshi, some Pokemons, all that. But you can see here that the sunlight is coming in through the window and really giving these games a sunbath. We got some Star Wars Shadows of the Empire with Boba Fett on the front, which is cool. You know, I liked Boba Fett, the character, as a kid, but why did that character become so popular? It's barely a character. It's just he's more of a plot device, really. He's just there to get Han Solo and Carbonite. He's not really, you know, beyond that. He just kind of looks cool. He's got a cool helmet, I guess. We got some Mario World, some Street Fighter 2, Super Scope 6, some other stuff here. Seiken Densetsu 2. That's cool. This actually pretty cool game. Battle Dodgeball. And some, what is that? Something or other. Tracks. Mother 2. Some of this stuff is kind of cool. This is one of those instances where, hey, it's Kirby Superstar. This is one of those instances where I think this Hard Off, because they don't really specialize in games, their speciality is all the audio equipment and other like various electronics and things. It's more so a place to come to buy audio equipment. So I think these are just games that got turned in, maybe, that they're like, alright, we'll have like a little game section and we'll overcharge people for Ikari Warriors. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. And yeah, here we go. Just some more games strewn about. And some of the games in that tub, I think maybe we take a look at one, but they're just being they're being cooked with the sun, the beautiful life-giving sun, the horrible life-giving sun, and what it does to our games. So yeah, a bunch of Super Mario Worlds and Dragon Quest Vs. There you go. They had a few kind of cool Super Famicom games there, but overall, yeesh. Some 360 games here. They got Blaze Blue, which is an okay series, I suppose. It's a flashier kind of fighter from Arc System Works. It's only 300 yen. Of course, you know, I'm more of a Guilty Gear guy, but, you know, Blaze Blue, they're fun for a little while. And then all this stuff, I mean, I had an Xbox 360 for a long time, played a lot of games on it, but stuff like Halo and the Call of Duties and all that stuff, I don't know anything about those. I like the Fallout games, those were fun, but I've never been like the first-person shooter kind of guy, unless it was like Doom or Wolfenstein or something. You know, the classics. We got some PS1 games here. The original Motor Tune Grand Prix, which I think was more of like, almost like a tech demo kind of for the PS1 back in the day. And then the game that was Motor Tune in the States was actually the sequel. This, Doko Demo Hamster 2, which means anywhere, hamsters anywhere. You just take your hamster anywhere. I don't think that's such a good idea to take it anywhere, but apparently that's what you do in that game. You just take your hamster anywhere, and I suppose that's fun. Bust a move. Yeah, so we're going to peruse these PS1 games. I think this is Chocobo Dungeon. That's okay, but you might as well just get that Chocobo Collection. You know, 300 yen. Not so bad. The original Ace Combat, that's pretty cool. And then Metal Gear Solid for 1,000 yen. Which, you know, I played through the first couple of Metal Gear games. I've never been like this massive Metal Gear fan. But, you know, that's just me. The next Tetris. The last Tetris is bullshit. It's time for the next Tetris. There's some intelligent cube. Cool borders! Or was that guy in the first one, or was that the guy in the second game? Cool Borders 2. And then you'd like fall over and stuff, and he'd be like, ow, 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 ow. this irritating announcer, snowboarder guy. Cobra! Which I didn't know, this looks like some sort of 3D adventure game. With Cobra. I didn't know there was such a game. Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. Which, you know, you go and play those games today, they're pretty janky, but back in the day I was a huge fan of the Tenchu series. Wrestling fan might say I was a Tenchu mark. It was good stuff. And here we are, we got some PS2 games. They had a lot of common stuff. Also some odd stuff. Some Kingo, some Kingdom Hearts. That's still super cheap. Some Robot Wars and stuff. Tetris Collection, part of the Sega Ages 2500. That's cool. I mean, I'm a Tetris fan. I don't need like a million different versions of Tetris, but that's okay, I guess. Some SD Gundam, some Naruto games. Which I've played a few Naruto games. They were like, alright, they were passable. But we got some Guilty Gear XX/, or double X/, whichever it is. They actually had multiple Guilty Gear games here. That's another kind of like running theme. Hey, here's another one. Guilty Gear, double X, Accent Core, whatever. I mean, there were so many Guilty Gear X and XX and X Plus and X Accent Core and Isuka and whatever else. Dragon Ball Z 2, aka Budokai 2, with its little board gamey kind of thing you got there. Bleach, something or other, Edabarashi or whatever. One of those Bleach games. That's a good thing. If you're an anime fan, you like those anime like Naruto and Bleach and all that stuff. Those games are as common as dirt. Full Metal Alchemist. They're as common as dirt in Japan. You can find them for a few hundred yen a piece. It's literally like $2.50. They are very, very affordable. What is it, Heatman or whatever it's called? So if you like that sort of era, that generation of anime, the PS2 has got you covered. There's so many anime licensed games on the PS2 and the PS1. And they just sold like hotcakes because those are really popular properties. And you can just get all those games for dirt cheap, next to nothing. So good time to collect PS2 games if you ask me. Finally, we wrap up with a little trip to the junk section, which they didn't have much to mention here either. I was a wee bit disappointed. A wee bit, you get it? Sengoku Basara 2, 100 yen, so that's good, you know. You got some 100 yen stuff here. Get yourself a copy of The Wizard of Oz. That's always a classic. We got some Evangelion. We got some NBA Live with Jordan on the Wizards. Obviously the high mark of his career. This, I was so excited. Melty Blood. Actress again? Are you kidding me? In the junk section? I couldn't believe it. Oh my god. But then I was horribly disappointed because I'm checking it out and then I look at the price sticker and it's 1,000 yen and I thought, oh wow, my lucky day. But then I noticed the writing on the price sticker. There's no game. There's no game in this case. It's just the manual in the case. So that really burned my ass. I thought, you know, okay, this was kind of a bust. But I found this great game. Everything. It was totally worth it. I'm going to get this game for 1,000 yen. Nope. Sorry, Jim. Not your lucky day after all. Anyway, this hard off. That's all for the games. Not so much. So let's get the hell out of here. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So what'd you think? It was not a really great hard off trip today. That particular place, I think, you know, they focus a lot more on like audio equipment and stuff. It really isn't a hard off meant, you know, to go there and hunt for games. That's not really their speciality. If I was in the market for like some amps or guitars or related audio equipment, anything musical, stuff like that, I would have been fine. I would have been covered. And they also had like computers and other home electronics and things. This is video games was not what they were specializing in. As a matter of fact, while I was there, I actually went to a nearby book off, and the book off actually had a lot more games in it than the hard off did. So yeah, not a great hard off for game hunting by any stretch of the imagination, but that didn't stop me from actually picking up some pretty good games today. In fact, in total, I picked up 14 games today, and we spent only 6,825 yen. So yeah, for 14 games, I'd say that's not too bad. Everything I picked up today, pretty good, so it's going to be going into packages, heading out in the mail. But I got 3 games here that I think are my finds of the day. These are pretty cool. I actually was kind of surprised. I was getting a little kind of, humdrum or whatever, a little burnt out looking at, kind of like that small selection of games and being like, there isn't anything that great here. But then eventually, as usual, when I put the camera away and started doing a little more digging, I found some pretty good stuff. So let's check out those games right now. For 1,000 yen, good deal on this game actually, I picked up a copy of TwinBee Rainbow Bell Adventure. And pretty cool game. Most TwinBee games, as you may know, are shoot-'em-ups. This is a really good series of Konami vertically scrolling shoot-'em-ups. I like the TwinBee series a lot, but they did occasionally branch out into other genres. So there is a TwinBee puzzle game out there. I think it's like TwinBee, like Puzzle Dama or something like that. And this, Rainbow Bell Adventure, is a side-scrolling platformer, and a pretty good one at that. It's really fun. It's kind of uncharacteristically fast-paced for a Super Famicom platformer. You get on straightaways and you like run really fast, and you can charge up your jet booster and kind of like go flying through the air, so that's really cool. But the basic premise is very similar to a lot of other platformers, 16-bit platformers. Run to the right, do some platforming, jump on enemies, or hit them with, I think you have an attack, like you can swing a hammer or something. So kill enemies, run fast, jump high, and collect bells and get to the end of the stage. And that's about it, but it plays really well. The graphics are really nice. It's a very colorful, vibrant game. And the soundtrack is really good too, kind of characteristic for the TwinBee series. These games always look good, they always sound good, and they always play good. And this particular game, I believe, did get an English PAL version, so it was at the very least released in the UK for the SNES, but I do not believe this ever had any kind of North American release. Which is kind of unfortunate because it's a really good game, but nevertheless, there it is, TwinBee Rainbow Bell Adventure for 1,000 yen. Not too bad actually. Usually I see this for more than that, probably between 1,500 and 2,000 yen. These next 2 games, both of them for the PS2, both of them really good. First up, great game that I've played through like multiple times in English and in Japanese. Really like this game. I think most people kind of appreciate this as one of the better kind of like 2.5D platformers, but it is Klonoa 2. The Japanese title, Kaze no Klonoa 2, Sekai ga something or other wasureda. Wasuremono, Forgotten Things, the world of forgotten things. So this is a really great game. I don't think I have to say too much about it. I believe a Klonoa collection just got released with like HD updates of both of the Klonoa games. These are just really great 2.5D platformers by Namco. They're a lot of fun. They're not particularly difficult games, I don't think, but they're just they're very well balanced. They're not the easiest games you're ever going to play, but I find that they're like a nice leisurely playthrough. So they're not particularly difficult, but they are fun. They play really well, and the graphics and sound design are really, really good. Again, I think the Klonoa games kind of recognized as maybe some of the best 2.5D platformers. So again, there is like a new updated collection out there with both games on it, but of course when I come across a copy of Klonoa 2 on the PS2 and it's only 500 yen, even though it is the best for family version, basically the greatest hits of Japan, for good reason. It sold a ton of copies, so it's nice and cheapy cheap if you find it out in the wild. But I was definitely going to want to pick this up, and somebody's going to be happy to receive this in the mail. I guarantee it. It is Klonoa 2, and I do like that quite a lot. And this was an interesting find. So there, in the junk section, there was that case and manual for Melty Blood Actress again, for 1,000 yen, just for the case and manual with no game in it. So I was pretty upset. Like, I got super excited when I saw the case. I was like, oh yes, Melty Blood in it. Junk section? What a steal. What my lucky day. I wasn't really finding anything in this place, and then bam, we got something great for the video, and it's just an empty case. That sucked, but for 300 yen, less than $3 American, I got a copy of Melty Blood Act Cadenza. And sure, Act Cadenza, it doesn't have the updated roster of Actress again, or some of the extra features and things that that game does, but the core gameplay is still there. It's still a really fun, fast-paced, very combo-centric, combo-oriented fighting game, and it's a ton of fun. So for 300 yen, I was just like, hell yes, I'm picking this up. So great gameplay. Graphically, it's one of the less impressive 2D fighters on the console, I think. Lots of better looking games. I think you can kind of tell that this is a game from a studio that at the time, Type Moon and Ecole, they didn't have a whole lot of money behind them. I think this game is based on a series of like Dojin like PC games. So not a series that ever had like a wide, I don't know, like a wide distribution or something. But for whatever reason, every time I come across Act Cadenza, it's really cheap. It's not the best looking game, but it plays great and the soundtrack is amazing. And honestly, I do still really like the character designs. The character designs are still really cool. Lots of, you know, there's like vampires and all kinds of cool things. I don't really know like the deep lore of like the Melty Blood series, or Tsukihime as the visual novels are called. But from what I do know, I like it a lot, and this game is excellent. Again, great gameplay, fantastic soundtrack. It's just a ton of fun, and for 300 yen, that's a steal. I'll buy that every time. So Melty Blood, Act Cadenza. And again, for 300 yen, this is the find of the day. This game is really good. If you've never played this or Melty Blood Actress Again, you're missing out. And I think there's also a Melty Blood game on the Switch right now, even though that game got kind of a limited release. And I've come across it, I think in Akihabara, but it's like expensive. It's like $100 game, the Switch game. So I don't know why that is. If you got a PS2, you can pick up Melty Blood Act Cadenza for 300 yen. This is like $2.50 American, so that's good. That's the find of the day, even though Klonoa 2 and Twinbee Rainbow Bell Adventure are great games too. And I got some other good stuff as well. I got some platformers and things like that for the Super Famicom. I think I got some other fighting games for the PS2. So not a total bust, not by a long shot. I did pick up some cool games today. It's just, you know, today I got lazy. I wanted to go to a hard off that was really close by where I live. You know, it's only a few stops away on the train. So I got lazy, and I guess I paid for it in the end. If I would have just gone another 30 minutes out of my way, I could have gone to a much bigger hard off with like way more games. But you know what? We'll save that for next time. Come back for the next hard off video. For next time, a much better episode. For now, though, courage. But yeah, that's it. So let me know down in the comments. What'd you think? What'd you think of the video? What do you think of these games? Hey, what are some games on your wish list if you pick up, you collect Japanese import games, or even if you're just thinking about it, what's a game you might like to start with? Because I'd like to know, because I go down there, I'll read those comments, and it helps me when I'm going out there trying to find games that I can then send out to those very same collectors. It's very informative. So I appreciate all the comments, all the likes, subscriptions, sharing, all that cool stuff. Hope you're enjoying the videos, by the way. I've been making quite a lot of these as of late. So if you're enjoying them, that's good news for me, because I have fun making them. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye.